Welcome back, everybody! So today we are going to be installing this Rugged Ridge hood cowl on my 2014 Jeep Wrangler JKU. So we're going to make a couple of modifications to it. I don't like how it's you put a screw here, bolt here, screw here, bolt here, whatever. We're going to be using 5/16 hex bolts that we use, these self-tapping bolts that we use at my construction job all the time. And we'll see how that goes. So hopefully this goes well. Wish me luck. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is pop your hood and pin it up, because we are going to uninstall some of the stuff back here. So here's a windshield wiper fluid, and then your hood, or I'm sorry, your window bumper. So this is the thing on top. I'll show you on the other side. You want to pinch these in and then push it out through the top. And here's your other windshield wiper washer fluid thing. I'm interested to see how those are going to work, because there's no actual cutout to put those on the new hood cowl, but it looks like they're going to go in underneath one of the vents, the very last vent. We'll see how that goes. And of course you're going to have to remove these two nuts for your footman's loop, and then we'll take a look at this from the top side before we take this whole thing apart. So as you saw from the underside, these are your bumpers for your windshield. Here's your footman loop on the top. A little concerned about where those are going to go, but you're going to have to take these two. I really didn't want to take these two screws out, or these two bolts out, just because the fact that you can see that they're painted after, you know, the truck was assembled. So now when I take these off, it's going to crack that paint around there, and it's going to be susceptible to rust. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this out, and then just paint it with some flat black, you know, mask it off and paint it with flat black, so it'll just be a little flat black insert. And of course, I got a freaking crack in my windshield. I've put less than 300 miles on this truck, and it already cracked seam to seam. So stay tuned to my next video, where I will be trying the $10 remedy from Amazon. Okay, so I removed the footman's loop. For your bumpers for your windshield, they're super easy. There's one clip on one side. You just get your screwdriver up in here and press that in, and then just kind of push up a little bit on the bumper, and then and they pop right out. And then for your windshield washers, you don't actually have to remove them, but what you do is you take the you just pull the little hose out and unclip it from your hood, and then just lay it across. You can see how I did it right there. And then I'm going to take it out of these last two clips over here. And then now we're ready to pop the hood off. Alright, so we're using my trusty Rigid drill. I've had this one for like 5-6 years. I can't say enough good things about Rigid tools. Yeah, so I bought this kit a long time ago, and I use it all the time. So using your T50, you just put it in here, and so just like I feared, they were painted on. I had to bust out the ratchet to actually be able to break these loose, and of course the paint came all unpeeled and everything. So alright, so now I got all four broken loose with the ratchet. Now I'm going to hit them with the drill and take the hood off all by myself. So the latches are also painted after, so All I did was just kind of just shake the hood a little bit just to get the paint to break free from the latches. Alright, so that wasn't so tough. All I did was I just slid the hood a little bit towards me, like maybe like an inch or so, just because the hood latches kind of overlap the hood, so you don't want to try to lift it straight up. You'll bang into it. So I just put my hands under as far as I could, and I just grabbed with my fingertips and just lift it up and just, I don't know, it's not too bad. Okay, so through the magic of editing, I have cut out all the holes in this wonderful stencil that Rugged Ridge has provided us. To hold it in place, I just used 2 Sharpies. Of course, one black, one blue. Every construction guy has one of each color. And I have a silver one also. And for these tools, we are going to be using a Unibit. Some folk call it a step bit. I like to call it a Unibit. I like them French fried potatoes and mustard, and I like to call it a Unibit. So we're going to use the Unibit to hit all 4 corners on each side. And because I'm too lazy to unroll one of my extension cords, we are going to be using the rigid cordless today. So it's just, what are we looking at? 12 cuts. No big deal. All right, so let's Unibit, or step bit as some folk like to call them, and a cordless grinder. Let's see how far we get. Ouch. Alright, so the reason that I prefer using a step bit or a Unibit is you don't have to tap every single, tap it, make sure you get it perfect. With this thing, as soon as you start drilling, boom, you're there. Alright, so now the madness. I almost forgot my gloves. Even with something as minor as this, I have never underestimated my ability to get myself hurt. Doing something as mundane as just cutting a hole in a Jeep you just bought 2 months ago, But that'd be my luck. I mess up my hood and my hands. We can't have that. Alright, back to the cutting. Alright, so as you can see, yeah, one battery. And there is still a half left. So, hey, not too bad, Regin. No man is without faults. Nobody is perfect, not even with the magic of editing. So, here's something to be careful of if you don't own a welding machine. You can see, like, right here, I cut into the support frame. And there, I just marked it a little bit. And just marked it. So just be careful when you're doing that. That was the main thing. I just caught it right there. I don't think I was paying as much attention as I should have. That's okay. I got a welding machine. I'll just hook up the welding machine. Now I got to unroll my daggone extension cord. But, you know, I'll just weld it up real quick and then we'll be right back at it. Alright, so my best friend Nick is always asking me things like, how do you know how to do all that? And aren't you afraid to mess that up? And the answers are pretty easy. I always tell him the reason that I know how to do all this stuff is because of YouTube, as you all know. And then, am I afraid to mess it up? No, because if I break it, there's probably a YouTube video on how to fix it. So, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, I got my welding machine over here, so I'm not too worried about anything. Let's, you know, like they always say, you know, a good man can admit his mistakes, but a better man can fix them. Let's see if we can fix them. Alright, well that was a little bit more of a mission than I'd like to admit. Stupid me. Last time I used my welding machine, I didn't tighten the spool down, so in the course of moving it 3 or 4 times, the whole thing turned into a bird nest inside, which is, I'm like, why in the hell is this thing not working right? I know it's been like a year since I welded anything, but I'm like, I know I don't suck that much. Yeah, so it's getting bound up in there, so I had to rip the whole, I lost half my spool, lost like $30, but anyway, finally got it done. Right now, I am going to change from my cutting wheel over to my wire wheel. I'm going to clean up these welds a little bit, clean up the areas just around, like where I cut, where I welded. Any burrs or anything like that, and then I'm going to hit it with some flat black spray paint. So now that I got those cleaned up, I'm actually going to peel the paper back a little bit further, just because I want to spray paint everything, and I don't want whatever I messed up on the factory paint. I want the new spray paint to, you know, glue to it or stick it back down or whatever. It's probably not going to work. Probably in 2 years, I'm going to have the whole thing all painted at the same time. But, you know, whatever. If it lasts 2 years, it's worth it. So I'm going to start on the underside first, just because the paper before I tear it off. It'll be protecting all the other stuff. Alright, so we just put a bunch of just flat black primer. I'm going to take this out, take this out. I'm going to remove our stencil. And here's the good thing about doing this to your truck when you haven't washed it in a couple months. There should be plenty of dust and dirt on there to keep any overspray from actually sticking to my hood. But so that's what she looks like now. Actually, not too bad. So anyway, let's get that cowl put on with the 5/16. We'll be right back. All right, one last look before we cover up that hack job that I just put in my hood. It looks like some Mad Max stuff. All right, so here is the Rugged Ridge piece of sheet metal that I'm going to put over the top. Some call it a hood cowl, I call it a Kaza blade. Some folks call it a hood cowl, I call it a Kaza blade. I'm never going to stop that sling blade impersonation. So, just lay this on top. Like I said, the thing that I'm concerned about, there's one cutout here in the center. It looks like it would probably be for maybe if you had a center mount windshield washer thing. I have two, and I'm assuming that they're going to sit underneath here. Hopefully they still splash. Otherwise, I'm going to be cutting notches in here to get my windshield. But I guess we'll figure that out when we get there. So, line this up. There's one hole over there. So the best thing to do is line up where, looks pretty good. Line up where your little window stopper deals go, and then you can push these in and pop them down in place. They'll hold. And we'll push that little sucker down in place, and that holds. And I'll be doggoned if those things aren't in the exact right spot. Boy, that's pretty good. And now it hides your windshield wiper bump things. That's pretty freaking cool. All right, so now I'm gonna, just for added safety, I'm gonna go ahead and put my little I'm gonna hook it place. Just mainly just as a placeholder, just so it kind of hold everything together. So once you get these halfway there, your rubber window bumps don't exactly click in, so I think we're gonna have to give them a good hit. Alright, well, we're gonna figure that out in a second. In the meantime, or in the interim, as I like to say, I got my 5/16 bit and these 5/16, some folks like to call them tech screws. I like to call them self-tappers. So I'm not using the hardware that they supplied because I'm not going screw and then screw, bolt, bolt, screw, bolt, bolt. When I know these things will hold a lot, I have trusted my life off of Unistrut that's just held in with like 4 of these. So I'm good with that. But what I am gonna do is start from the center and work my way towards the side. Just so that it flattens out. Just like whenever you put on a sticker, you don't ever want to put a sticker on from one side and then even, because by the time you get to the end, it's always off center and there's always an air bubble in there. The best way to put on a sticker is after you pull the backing off is peel it in half, figure out exactly where you want the center of your sticker to go, and then you push it in and then just let your sticker kind of lay out so it pushes. Push. See? Calm. Maybe I'm gonna start a new channel called GP Yoga, where we just sit out here and do stupid stuff like this and push out. Push. Alright, so let's make more holes. I got holes in different area codes. Yeah, looks good. See? Bing. It drills its own hole. And it stops. And then let's see. Figure out exactly dead center down here. That looks pretty doggone good. Alright, so now I got those in, I get this one in, so now I'm going to start from here and work my way back, because if there's going to be any kind of like hood flutter, it's going to start from the front. Even though I got my little rock guard, I got that one for like $70 on Amazon. And then, you know, because I'm like, I don't want rocks in my windshield, and then this happened. Less than 300 miles I've put on this Jeep. I got one big ass smash, and before I could even get home, it split all the way down my windshield. ¿Por qué me? Oh, why me? So, you know, you try to do the right thing, it just don't never work. And I do like the way that these look. Just, Yep. I don't know, kind of a more industrial feel to it. I don't know if I'll paint over them or not, but for now they're all right. And that's a lot easier than just going, okay, lay out your stencil. The stencil that they gave you has all the little markings for drill a hole here, drill a hole here, drill a hole here, drill a hole here. I'm like, you know how long that's gonna freaking take? So just working my way center to the outside, then front to back. So hopefully it's laying everything all out nice and even. I'll know when I get up to the end, I guess. And worst case scenario, if I don't like the way that it looks afterwards, and I don't like the way it looks after I paint it, I can always use these exact same holes to put in the factory supplied equipment, so I'm not scared. Ta-da! Alright, so now I'm going to do is just throw this back on my Jeep. I'm going to put it on exactly how I took it off all by myself, shimmy it back. I don't think you need to see that, but you know, stay tuned and let me know what you think about the finished product. Okay, so this is how it looks on my Jeep. I hope that you all appreciate the video. I hope that you like it. I hope that you all survive another day from the coronavirus, because we all know it's gonna kill us all. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.